Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is August 1st, 2024. In this video, I'm going to bring you what I wrote down this morning in my journal at around 4:30 in the morning when I was worshiping and praying. You're going to want to stay and listen to this. It's helpful. I believe it's from the Lord. You have to square it with Him however you need to do it, all right? We're going to talk about storms, okay? I'm going to tell you a story about some storms I've lived through, like real storms, all right? Because the reason I'm talking about storms is because that's what the Lord keeps mentioning to me. Because when I ask Him, how should I prepare? He will tell me like as if a blizzard were coming. So I was thinking about that this morning, all right? So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. If you look at the world events, what's happening right now, it feels as if everything with these two assassinations, with Iran really hacked off at Israel, everyone seems to be throwing the United States under the bus at the moment with I'm not even sure how accurate the headlines are, but headlines like "we've lost control," "we didn't even know what was going on," "we're weak," and da da da. And I'm not here to tell you whether that's true or not. You know, you got to figure that out for yourself. But what my concern is the amount of escalation, the amount of emotion, the amount of tension in the air. I feel it. You feel it. I am very hesitant to go, this is it. All right. I felt more nervous probably when there was that huge internet blackout thing. I was very nervous that day because I was like, I was experiencing that in my hometown. So I don't feel that jittery sense of I better take action fast, which actually lines up with the Lord telling me, prepare like it's a blizzard, honey. So I got to thinking, a blizzard versus tornado, all right? Now, where I live, we have lots of tornadoes, all right? So many probably that they're a little blasé. I hate to tell you that, but unless the tornado is bearing right down on our town, we pretty much we don't worry too much about them. Now, the thing about tornado watches and tornado warnings, it usually happens hours before the tornado begins to form and the storms break out. I hear tornado watch first. All right. So when we are in a tornado watch, I begin to be a little bit more alert about the weather. I've learned to look at the radar. I can see things on it that I like, that's not going to get us, or yeah, it is. You know how y'all do the same thing, right? So, tornado watch, I'm a little bit more alert. Clearly, tornado warning, I'm like, if it's my county, I'm like, I live in a big county. Where in my county is it? If it's northwest of me, then I'm hustling a little bit, going, where is it? How fast am I in the line of it? If it's south of me, I don't do nothing. If it's east of me, I don't do anything. All right? It literally, the tornado could be 5 miles east of me. I would not be doing anything, probably. Yes, can they change directions? Yes. If they do, I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Yes, I'm watching, but you know how it is, okay? But usually all of that action takes place on one day. Tornado watch day, tornado warning day. It all is in one day, okay? Now, we have tornado season, of course, blah, blah, blah. But you get what I mean. When the Lord is telling me, prepare like it's a blizzard, because this morning when I was praying about everything going down right now in the world, and it is very tense. This is the time to be watching very closely and praying and asking Father, what say you? What say you, Father, to all of this? And then you sit still, and I sit still. I don't want to don't hear that I'm ragging on you, because I'm not. But just like, sit still. And if you're going to ask the question, sit still and wait till He answers. All right, I don't know how long that'll take. It may take 1 minute. It may take 2 hours. I don't know. But these are the kinds of things that will help us through all of this chaos that's happening at the moment in our country. All right? Now, besides being hotter than heck where I live, and I mean it's hot, and I'm trying to get everybody cool, everybody, including my family, all of that's going on now. I'm trying to listen to the news that's coming out, not obsessing, but I'm trying to keep on top of it because things are happening very quickly. Very quickly. I mean, when you think about 2 people assassinated in the same day, kaboom, kaboom, that's just sound effect for drama's sake, all right? 2 people taken out. That's so significant that you have to, for people who are preppers, for people who are watchers, you have to sit up straighter and start drinking coffee to stay alert if that's what you need to do. Do whatever you need to do to be watching and alert. I am going to say that when there is a blizzard, y'all, when there is a blizzard, we know maybe even a week before it happens. All right. So we have compared to tornadoes, that's a long time to get ready. All right. And I want to tell the story of the worst blizzard. Actually, there's been 2. I forgot about that one. There was one when I was a little girl where we lost power for 3 days. And that was a big blizzard. But we lived in Kansas then. And so that was back in, 1978 or so. But this blizzard was called Goliath. And it was just like, y'all remember it probably. It blew through so much of the United States. It was a monster. All right. It was probably 7 years ago. Add 2 years, because has the pandemic thrown your timing off? Like you think, oh, well, that was just 4 years ago. No, Mom, it was 6. Really? Anyway, so it was 7, 8 years ago. Okay. So this storm happened, if I'm remembering right after Christmas, because we had company. My sister and her family were here from Austin, and even though the warnings were coming, the storm's going to be a monster, they wanted to stay and live through a great blizzard with us. Have you heard of Southern hospitality? Because that's what we had to exercise mighty hard, because, it was my feeling, you need to get out of here while you can. That was how I was feeling. But because we're Southern and because we're taught to be hospitable to our company at all lengths to a fault, we said nothing. We were like, oh yeah, we've got plenty of food. It'll be fine. Stay as long as you want. All right, that's what we said. But inside we were like, oh, holy cow, man, you better get out of here. But that's okay. They stayed. All right. So in the days building up, I began to make food like that was already cooked and put them in the refrigerators. I was not worried too much about stuff staying cold or cool if we lost electricity, because I could always just put it outside. Do you know what I'm saying? In the winter, that's kind of one of those perks. So that's what I started doing. I made chili, I made stew, I made a couple of soups, and they were just in big things that we can just put on the stove, heat up. I was recovering at that moment from a huge, massive surgery. I had appendicitis, and my appendix actually ruptured, and was that way for about 8 days before I realized how sick I was. That's a whole nother video. All right. I thank the good Lord I lived through that. But so I was weak during that time, but I was like, man, I got to churn this out. No matter, you got to dig deep, do what you got to do. Right. So we prepared that way. We went and there was a generator that was actually kind of like in a barn place that was ours. We went and got it. Got all the extension cords that we could get. We fired it up even even Mike got that. We took that generator over to my mom and dad's house, and they're right next door. And then we have more than one generator, but we have this generator. And what Mike did was actually position it outside and he built a fortress around it in case snow got to where, I mean, he put it out before it even started snowing, and then built a shelter around it quite amazingly. And I would have never thought to do that, but he did. And he was like doing it. So while I was cooking in the kitchen, he was like, man, we're going to need some power. So he was doing that. And you know, I did laundry, because I sure didn't want to do laundry. In a crisis situation, so I got all the laundry caught up. I, went to the store, got those perishable items. I'm like, maybe, with a week's worth of fruit and vegetables, whatever. You know what I mean? Do we have candles? Do we have enough firewood? All of those things? That's blizzard. That's getting ready for a blizzard, and it's over a period of time. All right? That's what we're doing now. That's what I'm hearing from Father. All right? I invite you. And you people, y'all are gold to me. Because when I read, when y'all share what you put in your journals, what you're hearing from Father, it is so affirming. I am not by myself. I love this, dare I say, community. I do not want to be so trite, but I don't know. I just love that we have each other, and y'all make me feel less alone. I hope you make each other feel that way. Well, as long as we can. So this crisis that's unfolding now, that's the clouds you see coming. All right? I can look to the north, y'all. I can look over the elevator and tell the elevator, like the grain elevator, y'all, when I say elevator. When I can look and see the clouds. I know what blizzard clouds look like. I've lived long enough and in this area enough to know that's bad. I can tell by the color. I can tell by the shape. I can tell by the extent of the bank. Y'all, where I live, there are no trees. All right? I can see the curve of the earth. All right? No kidding. This is true. I can see next towns. If I get up on my roof, I can see, but it's not too slanty, y'all. It's not too angled that I can't get up there. It's a little jab at the, I'm not going to say that word, though. But, y'all, I can get up on my roof, and I can see the surrounding towns in a 30-mile radius. I can see their lights, all right? So when I look to the north and see black clouds, a bank of them, nearly here, then I know it's about time to do everything I need to do outside, batten down the hatches, make sure the chickens are warm, and have plenty of food out there, because I don't really want to trek out for a couple of days if I don't have to. And then I go inside. We are at the point, I think, this is my opinion, where we're looking up and seeing that line of blizzard clouds right there. I've gotten so familiar with my area, my land, that I can look at the sky, look at the clouds, and pretty much guess how much time we have before it hits. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that's kind of who I am as a person. Not everybody's like that. I am. All right? And no, not everybody should be like that. But that is where we are at. So I would encourage you to, first of all, be at peace and prayerful. And you don't need to comment, God's people never fear. I know that. I know God's people never fear. But you know what? I'm a human, and I'm not perfect. And even though I know that on so many levels, inside me, sometimes I'm afraid. And our Lord knew that I was going to have a fear-filled moment before I was even born. He knew that moment was coming for me. So He loves me and does not pull away from me just because I fear. So if you are fearful, don't beat yourself up. Just pray take a moment, take a deep breath, and then get to work. And you're like, I don't have enough money to prep. Well, then pray. Then read the Bible. Then if you are mobile, then do some dusting, do some cleaning, do some laundry, all right? But my answer to everything is get to work. Which my children often say, Mom, that's always not the always best response, And I'm like, I don't know. I think it might be. All right. I don't want to make light of where we're at, y'all, in the chaos. All right. Here is what I wrote down this morning. All right. August 1st, 2024. Drunk on war. Your nation's leaders drive drunk. Our drunk drivers are at the wheel playing Russian roulette with you. It is your life they are happy to risk. Your family they casually put in the crosshairs of the trigger. They know not what they do. Such leaders as they are, all knowing, so they think. But they know me not. Therefore, they know nothing. Shame on them, for the marching of death increases because of their foolishness. Do not underestimate this event unfolding this day. A catalyst like none you have seen before. Revenge drips from the chins of all. Revenge tinged with bloodlust. O daughter, hide in my rock of ages cleft for you, for what unfolds now tilts the ease of your life ever closer to a chaotic freefall. So then I asked Father, direct my steps this day. And then I heard him say, know this, my love. Sing my love this day. Pray my love. Dance my love. Walk in my love. Speak in my love. Keep reading. Keep readying your home. As I have told you, a blizzard is coming. The largest ever seen. Your nation is in its path. The swath of destruction stretches the width and height of your land. Your land is in the red zone. The worst part of this devastating storm. I ask you, child, for you have prepared for blizzards. What did you do? You knew the impending storm. You saw it bearing down. You calculated how much time you had by the nearing cloud bank. And when the sun was blocked, when the room you sat in darkened, what did you say? It just hit. For you felt the force of the wind shear blow against the walls around you. Every beam of your shelter groaned against the force of the storm. So it shall be now as war hits, the storm of war. The groans will not come from the beams and glass, but from the terrified hearts of men. And that was all. That was all that was given me this morning. It's not particularly, I'm a little too flowers and happiness for heavy words like this. I mean, I can do heavy words. I'm not saying that. But, I mean, I think that speaks volumes. That our Lord has spoken. And if this diffuses, and you're like, well, that word didn't come true. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel a need to justify anything about what I write down to anyone. I just write what I sincerely think I hear. So, I once again would invite you. What are you doing to get ready this day? This day. Based on what you see happening in the world. What are you seeing happen? Can you connect any of the dots for us? What are you seeing in your area? I thought the intel yesterday from yesterday's video was wonderful. I haven't finished reading all the comments yet because I've been so busy doing stuff today. Sweating also. So that What are you seeing in your area? What are you, what, how, I don't know how to put this question exactly, but how, on a scale from 1 to 10, I don't even know. That's not the best way to put it. How big is this? How big is this event? I think, we have done, we have sat in our house, and when we felt the storm hit, we did go, it just hit. Kaboom. And when Goliath hit, it hit. And the lights went, woo. I mean, we nearly lost our electricity. A lot of people did. There were snowbanks up to our roof. There were drifts of snow. And another thing about a blizzard, when you get a blizzard like that, literally, we had 10-foot drifts. Children were climbing up on the tops of their house and sledding because we have no hills here. But that was a good sled day. The thing about blizzards is the aftermath is long. It's long, and it's a big area. We were socked in. No traffic was coming, no traffic was going. But guess what? On dairies, the cows keep giving milk, whether there's a blizzard or not. You know, the animals have to be fed, whether there's a blizzard or not. And so those things, has to happen. And it's a lot harder in those moments. So I would invite you to tell me what you're doing and share it with each other. What Bible verses are you reading right now to comfort you and give you guidance? Put that in the comment section, please. We need each other. We need each other. Now more than ever. Oh, I think I'm going to leave that with y'all. Oh, one more thing. I have a lot of people saying, like, get my Christmas tree out of my pantry because it's pagan or whatever. And I'm not mean to make light of that. I know many of you believe that, and that's fine. But this right here on this top shelf, I don't know what you're seeing that looks like a Christmas tree. That's not a Christmas tree. That's a plunger to hand wash stuff in a bucket. So I don't have any Christmas trees in my pantry. So you need not worry about me in that regard. All right. That was a side note. That was free. All right, here we go. Do what you need to do. Stay safe, America. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.